Hello, my pastor friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Carffice Podcast, my car office. I'm your host, Greg Gross. Please buckle up and enjoy the ride. Hey, we're back again. I don't know why I keep doing these weird introductions, but this wouldn't be entertainment otherwise. So again, you're welcome. And like I said, welcome back to the Carffice Podcast. And we are in episode 12. And some of you are probably thrown off a bit. So let me pause right there. Many of you were expecting Burlington Part 3 on this episode. And I just want to let you know what? You're welcome, because you get to wait one more week. And you're like, why, Greg? Why? I wanted to hear part 3. And by the way, I'm getting more views on these Burlington episodes than any other episodes. And I kind of know why. I know why. But the thing is, before I get into this standalone episode 12, I will explain very briefly why are we not rolling out with part 3 on this episode, because I said I was going to, right? And again, I don't want to be a liar or lead somebody on, but I just realized, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be grateful and thankful for this, but as the week went on and right before I was going to record part 3, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to rush this, and I can make this better. And part 3 is so full of so many wild things, which, by the way, you're going to see why I'm saying wild. I mean, it's going to be the most wildest and craziest Carffice ride to date. And I wanted to make sure I did it right. And to do it right, I need to take some more time mapping it out. So when we jump into it, it'll be that much better. So you're welcome. You are so welcome that this is not part 3 of Burlington, but this is a standalone. And that just extends this season one more season. Season 1 was going to be 12 episodes ending with Burlington Part 3, and now it's going to be 13 episodes ending with Burlington Part 3. And I also considered, I'm just going to take a week off, and no one's, it's okay. It's 4th of July weekend, everything like that. And I'm like, no, heck no, I'm not doing that, because I know there's amazing people like you out there that are waiting for the Carffice Podcast to drop today, which I'm not recording this on Monday, but you're listening to this probably on Monday or maybe another day. It drops on Mondays. So I'm like, you know what? I know people are looking for this, all you crazy Carffice fans out there. So, which, by the way, thank you to all that watch, subscribe, listen, share, post out, comment, give me suggestions, all that kind of stuff. We're just cruising along. I'll just keep using that. We're just cruising along in this Carffice, this wonderful, wonderful Carffice. And I'm like, you know what? I got something to talk about today. I do. You know what? Obviously, I'm wearing my blue hat. I'm wearing my Protect This House. I will protect this house t-shirt. And if you know me, I haven't brought this up in an episode yet, but if you know me, I love Under Armour. I just love Under Armour. I had people make jokes to me back in the day, especially in Burlington, like, are you like sponsored by Under Armour? And you know what? Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I wish. Gotcha. But you know what? Maybe I will be someday. Maybe I stinking will be. Under Armour, if you watch this episode, here you go. You're going to want to sponsor me, because the Carffice is awesome, and all that kind of stuff. So there we go. But I'm decked out my red, white, and blue a little bit, because it's 4th of July weekend. That's when I'm recording this, and we're celebrating independence. And I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. I actually wanted to talk, the title of the standalone is Protect This House. And what is this house? Well, you're going to find out throughout this episode. This house is this house, this country. This house is your house, whatever house you live in, no matter what your family looks like, family or no family, whatever your dynamic is, protect this house. We're going to jump into this. But because it's, again, 4th of July, and it's a very, festive holiday for our country, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about my family and how much this country means to me, and the background of what my family has done for this country when it comes to the military. I actually have a very big military family. I just do. And the main branch of my family for the military is the Air Force. So any other Air Force people out there, but I love all armed forces. I have so much respect for our military. I just do. And maybe other people don't, but I do, and I'll go into that a little bit more here. And again, I'll just say this: I have no idea. I have no idea how long this episode's going to be, because it's a standalone. It could last another 5 minutes or 50 minutes. So you already know how long it is because you're watching it and you see the length. But I don't. So that's kind of fun. Like, I literally don't know how long, and I just added another 10 seconds by saying that. So there you go. So my family, military background, Air Force. I had one uncle who graduated from the Air Force Academy. He went on and flew, he became a pilot, which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, I want to get my pilot license at some point. Let's go. I just need an extra 5-10 grand laying around. If you got that, shoot it my way. Love to get my pilot license. And but he was a pilot. He actually flew, I believe, for United back in the day. He's long retired now, has a home in like Alaska, Vegas. He has like a plane that, I don't know if he still has his plane, but like he had a plane in Alaska right on the lake, and he could just like fly and land on the lake right by his house. I mean, it's pretty sweet. And so he, don't remember his final rank in the military, but he served our country. And then, let's see, I had another uncle on the other side of the family who was a full bird colonel. He also can fly. He built his own plane. I helped, me and my brother, he lives in Texas, helped build his own plane. And he flew, and I think he still flies, just his little plane. He might. He was a full bird colonel, so that's pretty cool, in the Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force, and he served for a handful of years. Don't really know what rank he ended up as. And then, let's see what else. My brother is currently in the Air Force. He's almost a lieutenant colonel, I believe. And he graduated from the academy as well back in 2007. And he's been all over the place and all that kind of stuff. But, he's been all over the place. And so it's pretty cool. Like, I visited him in Hawaii. I've visited him in Boston. I've visited him, let me see, he's been to Germany and back, Baghdad and back. And so, like, he's had some pretty awesome locations. He's more central now, a location closer to home than he's ever been. Oh, he's in California. My goodness. So it's pretty awesome, pretty cool. And that's a little bit about my family's background. Sorry, I kind of had to remember some things. But anyways, I honestly probably would have been in the Air Force too if it wasn't, it was one of my options back in the day, and before I knew I was called into vocational ministry at the time in middle school. You already heard that story. But my Crohn's disease didn't help that out. And I believe you can be in the military with Crohn's disease, but I wouldn't be able to do what I wanted to do, all the physical stuff and all that kind of business. Or maybe I wouldn't have been let into the military because of my Crohn's disease. Not sure, but I know it wouldn't have been the way that I wanted to. Plus, that's not the road that God took me on. But again, I just have a huge respect for military. Honestly, one of the branches I have the most respect for is Navy SEALs. Anybody in those special ops, like, seriously, I mean, all military people, I just want you to know, thank you so much for your service. Thank you for serving. If you have, if you are, if you're going to, just thank you. You are my true heroes. Like, seriously, like, no disrespect to if you have other heroes and like you got like sport athletes are your heroes and stuff like that. But no, I'm telling you, military are the true heroes of our country. And honestly, probably one of like the type of people that I'm so intrigued about in the military, that I believe do such an amazing job protecting our house along with all other military, is Navy SEALs. I just have this, this extra level of awe for Navy SEALs. And I know there's other special forces too, but some of you might have heard of David Goggins. He's a beast. He's not even human. Go look him up if you haven't. Go read his book, You Can't Hurt Me. He just does. I'm not even going to get into his story, but you need to look up David Goggins if you haven't. But here's a cool thing about Navy SEALs, and I had to share this with you. Literally just this past week, a week ago, right in this Carffice, yes, everybody, in this Carffice, I had a Navy SEAL, a prior Navy SEAL who was medically discharged right here, sitting here. He actually lives here in Erie, Pennsylvania. He's a friend of a friend of a friend. He needed to be picked up in Pittsburgh last week and like at 11:30 at night at the airport. And I had that amazing, I was going to be Uber lifting that night anyways. I had an amazing opportunity to go pick him up. Made some great cash doing that. Some of the most I've ever made going to go pick somebody up. And basically he's like a celebrity and also does music. I'm not going to reveal his name because just out of privacy for him. But he was actually portrayed in some famous movies too that we've seen. I know, I'm telling you right now. I mean, he wasn't in the movie, but his character was portrayed in the movie, and he's made some big calls back in the day for different Navy SEAL operations, and a movie that you might have saw. I'm not going to even bring up that movie. And he was sitting right here, and we had conversation, and actually his son, he has a son that is in Hollywood and is doing movies. Like, I'm telling you, it's pretty cool when you meet people like that. But the thing that intrigued me the most, and I was picking his brain, is that he was a Navy SEAL. So I'm asking like, hey, what about mindset this, mindset that? Like, what do you do to push yourself? All this kind of stuff. I'm telling you guys, I was like a little boy in a candy shop. I literally had a Navy SEAL I met in person right here. And here's the best part. When I dropped him off, obviously, we said our goodbyes, and I have his phone number, and he said, hey man, let's get together. I'd like to pick your brain. He said he wanted to pick my brain. I'm like, you want to pick my brain? I want to pick your brain more. So pretty cool experience. I'm going to be reaching out to him soon, and maybe I'll tell you more about that in episodes coming up. But I just kind of like, again, it's Independence. We're celebrating Independence this weekend. And I just wanted to take a moment to kind of give my background a little bit about that, the military family I have, the respect I have for our armed services. Obviously, big Air Force family, big Navy SEAL fan. And I am just grateful and thankful. And that kind of goes into, like, I want to say this. For those that know me, I'm not a very political person. Like, I'm just not. Like, I don't really get all bent out of shape about who's going to become president. Not saying I don't vote. I do vote. But, like, the thing is, like, I'm very just, like, in the middle. And some of you might not like that. Or I don't really care what you like. This is the Carffice Podcast. I'm talking here. So, but this is kind of like, if I had to sum up my political view, it's this. I want to stand for what is right and do what is right. And that can be a part of any party. Like, I personally want to stand for what is right and do what is right. And you're like, well, Greg, well then what is right, and how do you stand for what is right and do what is right? Because that's very, again, that's a relative reality that could be, again, based on experiences, opinions, all that kind of, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I just don't get caught up into left and right and elephants and donkeys and red and blue. So it's just one of those things where I just don't care to waste my energy on that, because it kind of goes back to the concept that I'll probably get into here in a second. We only can control what we can control. So I understand this. I understand, And it's like, Greg, well, you should care more, because some of you, depending if you're on the left or right, you get all crazy and get your, you know, I don't know, you just get all tied up into it and all stressed and over all these different political things and what happened this past political race. And I'm just going to say it. Some of you waste way too much energy and focus on that kind of stuff, and you can't even do anything about it. Yeah, I'm not saying your vote don't matter. Vote, that's great. But like in the long scheme of things, we already know our vote only goes so far, and things are going to happen if they're going to happen, because so much is out of our control, my friends, my pastor friends, if you didn't know that. So again, let's control what we can control, which kind of leads me into my next thought. Like, again, I understand our country is messed up. I do. You know, every country is messed up, okay? Every stinking country in its own way, pros and cons, is messed up. Some more than others, okay? But why are our countries messed up? Because the people in the countries are messed up. That includes me and you. Yes, you're messed up. I'm messed up. We're all messed up. We all have, you know, we all have fallen short. We all have problems about us, and people create problems, and then issues, and then different laws. And again, I'm not political, and so I don't even want to try to go into it and try to make sense of things, because I can't, and I don't care to. But all I do know is we're messed up, and that's why our country's messed up, and that's why there's messed up laws, and that's why there's messed up things going on, and that's why there's things that we don't even know about, and that's why there's conspiracy theories, and everybody has all these opinions, and people come at each other, and it's just messed up, people. So what can we do with this? Well, we can still protect this house. We can still move forward to protect this house, this country, the different integrities, the character, what people have died for. Okay, let's not forget that. People even have opinions about that, what we've died for, good and bad. But again, the different freedoms that we do have, because we do have many freedoms that many countries don't have. Let's at least recognize that, people. Let's look at the positives, not all the cons that you wish some freedoms that you would have that you don't. But I will just say this. How can we protect this house? And this is coming kind of to the middle end here. I read a book, and it's by Andy Stanley, and it's called "What is the Wise Thing to Do?" Or what's the best question ever? I just said it. What's the best question ever? The best question ever is, what is the wise thing to do? There you go. And that's how I truly believe one of the things we can do to protect this house, meaning this country, our homes, our circles, is always, before we ever make a decision, ask ourselves, what is the wise thing to do? Think about that for a second. If we all paused and asked ourselves before we made any decision, hey, what is the wise thing to do? Now, I know some of us are more wise than others, and wisdom, you know, you gain with experience in years, and again, I get that could be a relative thing, but again, either way, we're pausing, we're thinking twice about some stuff here. We're not impulsive. We're not just going out there and just doing crazy things without thinking. What if all of us, myself included, asked ourselves that question before we did anything? And Andy breaks it down, it's brilliant, and he gives examples, and I'm not going to get into anything, but you can just think about it with me. Any decision you make from now, for the rest of your life, if you paused and said, hey, you know, what is the wise thing to do? Hey, Greg, what is the wise thing to do in this situation for my home that will affect the people around me, for this country, whatever? What is the wise thing to do? And so I believe that's how we can protect this house. I mean, for goodness sake, many of you have heard this. Well, probably a lot of you, and a lot of you have a high respect for this guy too. Gandhi, come on now. He said, be the change you wish to see. So many times we focus so much energy, again, on wanting to change things, and we're trying to point our fingers and hope that they're going to change it. But come on, we need to be the change we wish to see. We need to take the steps, not wait around for anybody else to do something. Stop complaining, all this kind of stuff, procrastinating, but be the change you wish to see in this world. So thank you, Gandhi. Thank you, Andy Stanley, too, for your wisdom, all that kind of stuff. Add value. I say this very often. One of the most valuable things we can do every single day is add value. So how do we protect this house? We ask ourselves, What is the wise thing to do? We be the change we wish to see. We tie that all to adding value to people. Again, adding value to people is one of the adding value to somebody every day is one of the most valuable things you can do every single day. Okay, how can you do that? It's simple. Go smile at someone. Go buy someone a coffee. Go say a kind word. Go send someone a nice text message, a video. Go send them this podcast. See what I just did there? Go add value to somebody today, every single day. If it's your goal, it's my goal to add value to at least 5 people every single day. If that's just a smile, if that's helping them at the store, if that's grabbing the door, if that's sending a text message, if that's wishing someone a happy birthday, sending a video. Many of you know I like doing that. So go add value to somebody every single day. Stop worrying about if someone else is. Stop worrying about if our country is, if our president is, if that politician is, if the military is doing the right thing, this or that. You be the change. You go add value. You ask yourself, what is the wise thing to do in these situations? If we just are responsible for ourselves, people, if we all just did just that, like we're responsible and we made sure we were doing the right things, glory. That's going to add up. That's going to add up real quick over time. I think listen more, talk less. Glory, I'll be the first one to admit that. Listen more, talk less. That's how we can add value. That's how we can be the change. That's how we can be more wise. That's how we can protect this house. And again, when I say protect this house, that is very broad. That's however you want to take it. Yes, I'm wearing the shirt. I kind of set it up. I know, whatever. But protect. Right? Protect, defend, take care of. It's a very important principle, I believe, that I think we don't give enough recognition and honor to the people that have gone before us, military or not, in this country. Because I know this country is around and still around and is I still believe, the best in one of the strongest countries in the world because of people that have gone before us. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Good, bad, or otherwise, people. Okay, this is not an argument of, but this and this and this and that and this and that, but this and this and great, you have no idea. You know, I don't probably have a lot of ideas about a lot of things, and I don't know a lot of things, and I'm not trying to be right because I heard this quote before, and actually, well, I'll say this. The more I know, the less I know, people. I don't know about you, but the more I know, the less I know. And I heard the good old famous John Maxwell. If you don't know him, go read one of his 88 books. He said this once, and I don't want to mess it up. I think I have it written down here. The moment you think you know or understand something is the moment you know nothing. I'll say that again. The moment you think you know or understand something is the moment you know nothing. So you know what? I don't really try to fully understand something because every time I think I understand something, I don't understand it. And I really, it's just, oh my goodness. My pastor and friends, can I encourage you for a moment? And this is something I still need to work on too. Can we just stop trying to be right about things? Whatever it is, politics, religion, if you're scooping your Fruity Pebbles the right way, I don't know, that was really random, okay? Toilet paper this way or that way, I know that bugged a lot of people too. Usually if you have this, I'm just saying, but I know this is me, so maybe this is you. If you would like to admit it, I'll admit it. Usually if you have a really deep desire and you have to be right about something, it's because there's an inner insecurity that you have that, if you found out you were wrong, it would just ruin everything for you. So you just hold on to things so tightly. We hold on to things so tightly and try to be right, even though deep down we don't really fully know if we are. Because remember, it goes back to the moment you think you know or understand something is the moment you know nothing. The more I know, the less I know. And to finish it off, the more I grow, the more I have to grow. Come on now, right? The more I grow, I'll just make it personal to me. I'm not even talking to you right now. How about the more we grow, the more we have to grow. To keep up. Otherwise, we're shrinking. We're shrinking back. We're going backwards. So, I don't have all the answers. I never will. And I don't care to. And so even when I'm talking about what I've talked about or anything I said prior on this episode or prior episodes or future episodes, I just want you to know I'm just sharing my opinions, my lived experiences, my thoughts, my perspectives. And you know what? If I ever really think something is truth or I'm right about it, I'll tell you. But more or less, I'm not on here trying to be right. I'm just on here to talk and hopefully add value, right? Add value to your day, make you think, make you process. And today, that's what, and we're talking about a lot of broad things. We are. This is definitely, man. I mean, I have direction here with this episode, but I just went off on something. So again, you're welcome. So, I mean, I'll close with this last political, I guess, statement, if it is political. Going back to, you know, can politics have an effect on us? Yeah, absolutely. Which president's in the office, is that going to have an effect on us? The different laws, can they impact our life if certain things are enforced in some extent? Yeah, I'm not oblivious to that, people. Like, I get it. I just personally don't focus a lot of energy on it. I've talked with other friends and family members about this before. I have this bucket, and I can only fit so many things in this bucket, and the things I choose to fit into this bucket, one thing is not politics, so I don't waste a lot of time and energy on that, trying to figure things out or try to control it, because at the end of the day, even if there is a law passed, it's not going to have full control over my life. Again, what has full control over my life and your life is you and me. So I have full control over my life at the end of the day, how I respond, how I react, what I choose to do after something happens to me, what circumstance comes into my life. I still have a choice how to respond. So if it's something I don't like, I can still respond well, do the wise thing, be the change I want to see to protect this house, to protect my home. That's the other thing. Protecting this house, I truly believe it comes back to our home. So like, for instance, for me, I know not everybody is a father or a spouse or has kids, but for me, it starts in my home. What can I do in my home to do the right thing, to be the change, to protect it? If we just continually build strong units in homes, glory, hallelujah, how much healthier in so many different aspects and ways would our country be, right? So that's a whole nother can that we ain't gonna even open up today. I'll close with this. How do we really protect this house, our country, our home? And I just was starting to tap into it, and I'll close with this because I actually just posted this past week. I got my infusion. I don't know if you're on YouTube, you can see this, man. I got a bruise from that. I still get my Remicade every 8 weeks for my Crohn's disease. And so just got my first one here in the Pennsylvania area. Actually, I had to drive to Ohio. But I would say this. I posted this the other day because I was sitting in my infusion chair and this thought came to my mind. And I usually usually do a post when I get my infusion because it always makes me think about life. It always obviously makes me, I don't really think about my Crohn's disease a lot, believe it or not. I don't let that like impact me, and even with having an ileostomy and a stoma and a small intestine sticking out of my stomach, I don't really think about it a lot. And so I don't really like, again, that's another thing that I don't pay attention to. So, but I posted this. Here we go. I said, I'll just read it word for word. I'll read it word for word. Here's a friendly reminder today, is what I said. We can't let life circumstances dictate the directions of our lives. We should be creating life based on how we respond to circumstances in the next steps we decide to take. Let me just say that one more time. We can't let life circumstances dictate the direction of our lives. We should be creating life based on how we respond to circumstances and the next steps we decide to take. Circumstances are very often things we can't control, like many things this country is doing that we don't know or do know, or what politicians or government does, right? Can't control. So let's keep putting our energy and efforts towards what we can control. I said, for me, I still get infusions for my Crohn's disease every 8 weeks. Do I like this reality? Absolutely not. But this circumstance is outside of my control. How I respond is most important. So what I choose to control is how I continue to take care of my body, mind, heart, spirit on a daily basis. So So what I choose to control is how I continue to take care of my body, mind, heart, and spirit on a daily basis. I've learned where my focus goes, my energy flows. I've heard other mentors in my life say that over and over again, and I love it. Where my focus goes, my energy flows. So, which means, my pastor friends, if you're always focusing on what is right or wrong in this country, in this world, and you're trying to change something that you can't control, and you get caught up on this, and you're worried about this, I'm telling you, where your focus goes, your energy flows. Are you wasting your energy on things you can't control, my pastor friends? So let's keep fighting for what's most important. What's most important? We are. A better me, you, and us will better others. It starts with us. We got to stop pointing and start doing. Stop trying to fix others and fix us. Remember the old Michael Jackson song? About the man in the mirror. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? It starts with the man in the mirror. Or the women in the mirror. Okay? Starts with us. To protect this house, it starts with us. All the different things we're going through, it starts with us. And so I'm just going to end there. I'm just going to end there. To protect this house, it starts with us. And remembering that we can only control what we can control. Be the change you wish to see. Make the wise decisions, right? Add value to people. All that kind of stuff. And it's kind of funny right now. The reason I'm a little distracted, might as well just tell you, my kids are outside my car right now and they're going crazy. So I knew this would happen at some point. I am never going to record an episode over in the corner of this parking lot again. So there you go. So that's why I'm a little bit scatterbrained right now as I'm closing up this episode. But there you go. Hopefully you got what I just said. A better you will better others. And that's in all aspects of life. So take care of you. And if we all put our focus on that and our energy flow through that, our families would be better, our relationships would be better. It would keep trickling, domino effect. Our country would be better. Our houses would be better. And there it is. There it is. If you hear banging or clicking or screaming, those are young children. So, all right, I'm going to close things down. And then go shut my kids down, especially my son. And I'll just say this, stay tuned. Next week, Burlington Part 3. I know you're super excited. You're anticipating it. I'm promising you it's going to be worth it. It's going to be wild. I said that word again. You'll see why. It's going to be wild, crazy, good, wild, maybe a little ugly wild, all that kind of stuff. So just stay tuned for that. That will conclude season 1 of the Carffice Podcast. And that will be episode 13. I'm super excited to share that with you, and so you're gonna have to come back. So, hey, thanks again for staying tuned. Thanks again for your grace. Thanks again for subscribing, liking, sharing. Thanks again for just your support, your comments, everything like that. Thank you. Again, this Carffice Podcast wouldn't be anything without you. And keep sharing, keep posting, keep subscribing, all that kind of stuff. Especially if it's adding value to your life. And thank you for being patient with me throughout this episode, as this is just life. This is the crazy Carffice, and with, you can't see them, but crazy kids off to my left here running around with their head cut off. One just flew right into the car. You might have heard that before. So, all right, my passenger friends, I hope you enjoyed your ride today in the Carffice. I hope it helped you in your current location or towards your next destination. Until next time, be well.